Hello everybody, welcome to Stories, Treasures, and Tea. So nice to have you here on this beautiful fall day. I hope it's a nice day where you are as well. So Stories, Treasures, and Tea, I'm going to talk about today a little bit more about the trip to England, and we're going to talk about afternoon tea at the Ritz in London. It was unbelievable. It was so elaborate, something I had never seen in my whole life. And also we're going to talk a bit about Buckingham Palace that we got to visit. We got to see it and the changing of the guards. And at Buckingham Palace, on the grounds, there's this beautiful gift shop. It is like the ultimate kind of tourist gift shop. But what I did was, I got this beautiful box of Buckingham Palace chocolates for my sister, because tomorrow I'm going to a birthday party for her, and it's her 75th birthday. So I added that to the gift for her, and we're very glad to celebrate this birthday with her because, as you may know, I said in one of my earlier videos, my mother died at the age of 74. It was March 20th. My next sister died at the age of 74. It was March 20th. So this past March, my next sister was 74. She passed that date, and now we are celebrating her 75th birthday. She's in great health, so we're very glad to be celebrating that. And also the London Eye, which I had never heard of, but it is a really interesting thing. At first glance, it looks like a giant Ferris wheel, but what it is, it's these huge glass domes that maybe, I don't know, 15 or 20 people can fit into, and it goes very slowly, much, much slower than a Ferris wheel, and you just simply see all of London. It's just amazing attraction to see for sure. the treasures today, I have to tell you, this was my treasure this week. I saw this woman on YouTube, and the woman that interviewed her was Lisa Bilyeu, I think that's how you say it. Young woman, very good interviewer. Oh, she's a star. But she was interviewing this woman that is 102 years old. And this is my treasure this week. It's a book by this woman. Her name is Dr. Gladys McGarey. She is, they call her the mother of holistic medicine. And she is a doctor in holistic medicine. And what holistic medicine is, it's not just the body, but the body, mind, and spirit. And that is the premise of the medicine, and it includes also traditional medicines as well, but maybe some herbal ideas and talking about our emotions and spiritual aspect of it too. So this woman's story was unbelievable. She said that at the age of 47, I believe it was, I'm sorry, when she had been married for 47 years, her husband was a doctor as well. They had a big practice that they ran, and she was almost 70 years old, I believe. Her husband wrote her a letter that said he needed to have a divorce after 47 years, and she thought things were perfectly fine. It was just a blow to her like she never experienced before. And just to hear her story about how after all those years he just decided he needed a divorce. And at one point she said she took a drive in the country, and I could totally relate to this because I did this as well. She took a drive into the country. She just pulled the car over. She started yelling, just yelling. She didn't care who heard her, but that was kind of her release, I think. I did the exact same thing because my marriage was not that long. It was 29 years, which I thought was a long time, but not compared to 47, but I didn't see it coming either. And I remember driving in the country, pulling over and crying like I've never cried before. So I could really relate to this lady, even though she's just so accomplished, and to live to be 102, she's my look to for health and inspiration. And she says that we still have to have a plan. We still have to move forward, which I really love that she did that. And so she said when she did that yelling and didn't care who heard her, it didn't matter at that point, then she just took a deep breath, thought about it, and said, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." And her name is Gladys. And from then on, she started to look for joy. She started to try to find the gladness. And that was her story. I wasn't as brave as that. It took me a lot longer to get through it, but she said she thought it was the end of her world. I remember exactly feeling like that. But you know what? It wasn't the end of her world, and it wasn't the end of my world. So we really are often stronger than we think. So the tea I chose today was a jasmine green tea, and I chose a green cup. I chose the green tea because this was one of the ones that Dr. Gladys had recommended for health. Let me just try it. Oh, very nice. And it is, we know there's a lot of health benefits to green tea, and the jasmine green just makes it a little more pleasant. And the cup and saucer that I chose, which are the green color, it's a Royal Albert, which I always can recognize the Royal Albert design. This cup was given to me by a man that I used to date just for a short time, maybe 2 or 3 months, years ago. And his mother passed away And months later, after we had ended our relationship, he contacted me and asked if I'd like to have these cups and saucers from his mother, which was really appreciated, and that was one of the cups from her. So I just want to end with this quote from the book. So I want to read this reading from Dr. Gladys McGarey. And what she said was, she talked about our purpose, and she talked about the purpose is what she calls our juice. So she said, each of us is here to connect with our unique gifts. This is what activates our desire to be alive. Achieving this connection isn't necessarily the point. The search counts far more. The process of finding our juice keeps us vital. So even at this age, she is still looking for the juice, and it changes through our lives. Like I feel like when I was working and I was teaching English to adults, that was my juice. So often I felt like this is where I am meant to be. And it changes different times in our lives. You know, when you have grandchildren, maybe that is your juice, taking care of them, whatever it is. But it's always positive to know, no matter what age, that we can continue to move forward and look for that purpose. So please subscribe. We'll see you next week, and I hope your week is wonderful. Bye-bye.